Hey YouTube, how are you? It's been a while, or maybe it hasn't. Either way, I know you've missed me, and I've missed you too. In fact, that's why today I wanted to bring you another video full of, well, unsolicited music marketing advice. This video is going to be jam-packed with a lot of info, so stay tuned. You don't want to miss it. Anyways, let's get started.
Watch him run straight to the net like he used to pick and roll. I don't even need a switch, oh, I'm in a different mode. Make a pay up just to call me Deuce Bigelow. We gon' wrestle at the crib, put her in a figure four. On your knees like Meg Thee Stallion, brand new ice in my medallion. I keep dressing like Italian, this ain't gang, we a battalion. Give a fuck about your wave, that's just how I feel today. I'ma get it for the low, don't care what the dealers say. Put your car, bitch, I'm on deck.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today, I want to talk about branding as a music artist. I've touched on branding a little bit here and there in different videos. You know, I've kind of spoken about you need to do things that align with your brand. You need to have a defined brand, these sorts of things. But today, specifically, I want to try and go more in depth and really help you figure out, okay, how do I define my brand as an artist, right? Because if you have a defined brand, it allows you to keep from being taken advantage of throughout your career and on your journey, right? So that way, you know, when you're dealing with label offers or you're dealing with management or anybody that wants to try and persuade you in this direction or that direction, you already know what your brand is, who your audience is, who you're catering to, and that way no one can try and steer you in a direction that you don't want to go down. You won't be able to know if you don't need to go a certain direction unless you have a defined brand. So I think you're gonna really enjoy this. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you'd like to see next, of course. And without further ado, let's get right into the video. So, the first thing that I think is the most important when it comes to defining your brand as an artist is figuring out your why. You need to determine what kind of music do you want to be making and what kind of audience that music is for. Now, this could be a very simple question, but I really need you to reflect on this. I need you to think deeply on it. What kind of person is ideal for the type of music you're making? Okay, don't just say, oh, well, I want to make, music that, people want to turn up to. That's not good enough. I'm sorry. You need to define it a bit more thoroughly than that, right? You need to come up with, okay, for instance, say the person that you're trying to reach is just like you, right? What are your defining characteristics? What defines the music that you listen to? Okay, figure out what you listen to and why you listen to it, and then extrapolate that out. Now, you may not make music that's for people that are specifically like you. It could be for a different type of individual, but what you need to do is figure out and define who that individual is and what kind of music they are going to resonate most with, okay? Figure out what kind of music you're making and who it's for, and that will allow you to know exactly who you're trying to target with your brand. It informs the entire rest of the process. It's incredibly important. So first, reflect on what kind of music that you want to be making for what audience. Next, I really want you to think, and this is a tough question for a lot of people, okay? I want you to think about what part of your career overall you think you would excel at the most. Now, most people are gonna say off rip, well, I think I'd be good at a little bit of everything. I think I'd be good at this and good at that. I'm not saying you can't be a little good at everything, but when it comes to defining your brand and defining what people look to you for, it really helps to know specifically exactly what you're really good at, right? Is your bread and butter going to be grandiose, super elaborate, albums like someone like, let's say, Travis Scott or something, something that's people look to him for albums mostly. That's what people look to him for because they know that every album he drops is going to be an event, so to speak. Do people go to you for consistent bangers? They're not really looking at you for your projects necessarily, but they know that every time you drop a single, it's gonna hit. It's going to hit every single time, and it's going to be getting a bunch of radio play, and it's going to be all over the place, and people are going to be bumping it? Do people go to you specifically for your live shows even? There are plenty of artists who specifically have fans that will go to them purely for their live performances because they know how to put on a show. You know that if you go see these guys in concert, okay, it's going to be a crazy show. You're going to get a super memorable experience, and you're going to be able to talk about it with your friends. All right, you need to figure out and define what is the most compelling part of your brand. Okay, really think about it, and you can of course be good at multiple things, but you need to focus on one that you know you would crush it in, that you know without a doubt, oh yeah, that's what I would be doing. That's what I know I'm good at. And hone in on that, right? Because that's going to help define the actions you take as you continue to define your branding. It's very important to hone in on what makes you unique and amplify that. Okay, there's a lot of artists making a lot of different music all over the world. It's very hard to stand out, as I've said many times before, but that's why you need to play to your strengths. I am certain that there is at least one characteristic that you have that so many other artists may not possess, right? You need to figure out what that is and hone in on it, so that way you can offer something to the market, so to speak, that no one else is offering, something that only you can provide, something that people go to you for. One important exercise that I think you should attempt to try out is think about the artists that you personally love, okay? What artists, think of 3 to 5 artists that come to mind that you're like, man, you know, those are some of my favorite acts of all time. And I want you to think about why you listen to them. What do you listen to those artists for? Is it because of their compelling, story-driven music and production choices? Is it because they know how to drop some heat? Is it because they create music that resonates with you specifically? Maybe they talk about experiences that you have gone through in your own life, and you know you resonate with those experiences through those artists. Think about 3 to 5 artists, okay? And I want you to even put this in the comments if you can. Put it in the comments. Think of 3 to 5 artists, and I want you to tell me why you listen to those artists, okay? What are you going to those artists for? That's going to help you figure out what you need to be doing in order to attract the specific type of audience that you want, okay? Drop it in the comments. I want to see it. I'm going to be reading and responding to all of them. So please make sure you drop a comment and let me know, what are your favorite artists and why do you listen to them out of anybody? So next, what I want you to do is another simple exercise. I think these are all very important. Is I want you to develop a 2-sentence brand statement. No more than 2 sentences, because it doesn't need to be some long, convoluted paragraph. It just needs to be something short, sweet, and to the point that defines you overall as an artist. Okay, 2 sentences, no more than 2 sentences. Just think about, like, you know, I make music for people that are suffering from depression and are looking for a way out through shared experiences. Okay, that's an example. You need to come up with what's unique to you. 2 sentences. I want 2 sentences, and I think it's really going to help you figure out exactly what your brand needs to kind of encapsulate. And beyond that, it allows you to form your core values, the core values of your brand as a whole, around those 2 sentences. These 2 sentences are going to be very important for everything you do moving forward. I'm not saying you have to put that one in the comments, but hey, you know, why not? I love the engagement. So definitely 2 sentences that are going to help inform your core values as a brand, okay? So this next part is just as important as everything else, of course, but I want you to figure out the theme and the tone that you're going to use to communicate everything that we've discussed thus far, okay? Think about the tone of your music, because you can have, let's say, as an example, you can have depressing music that comes through as uplifting. We've all heard songs where you're listening to it and you're just bobbing your head and you're like, wow, man, this is such a, you know, I'm just bouncing around. I love this song. And then you look at the lyrics later and you're like, they were through it. I'm telling you, there's plenty of songs like that. So what you need to do is figure out what the tone is that you're going to use to convey your message, okay? The tone can be anything from dark and moody to ethereal or uplifting and bouncy and happy, you know, electrifying. Think of the tone. This is something that once you have, you'll be able to kind of put it together with everything else, and you know exactly not only the message that you're trying to get across, but how you wish to convey that message. Because everyone has a different tone. Everyone has a different way that they want to get across what they're trying to let you know. You need to figure out what that tone is going to be for you. Now, last but not least, you need to come up with a vehicle that combines all this together and allows you to go out and start acting on it right away, okay? You need to turn it into an entire operation that will allow you to be profitable. Because let me tell you something, when it comes to these labels and, you know, different organizations looking at you to see what kind of motion you have going on, they're going to look and see if you're profitable. And you can do that by, once you define your brand, then you take that and you turn it into different things. So if you're, let's say, an artist that excels at live performances, you have cool merch, you have really like gritty, dark and ethereal, grandiose music that you like to play at live performances. Okay, so go have a live performance where you really set the stage, like you do a lot of set design and you make it a really cool encapsulating experience, and you're selling some cool merch and you're able to bring a lot of people in, and that's the main vehicle. Maybe there's a lot of different ways you can do this, but it helps to define your brand first, so that way you know exactly what steps you need to take in order to maximize the profitability of your brand as an artist overall. So I think that about covers it for this one. This is more of just a set of exercises that I really want you to try and do so that you can define your brand, figure out what your brand needs to be, the tone, what you need to say, how you need to say it, and figuring out a vehicle to take all of that and turn it into a profitable venture for you and your business, which, you know, your business as an artist. I think this is incredibly important, and I think that once you watch this video a few times and really absorb what I'm trying to say to you, it'll help you in the long run. It'll help you so much more down the line as you progress in your career as an artist. Once again, I want you to drop a comment down below. Let me know the 3 to 5 artists that you adore and love. And I want you to tell me why. I think it'll offer you a lot of good reflection on why you like the music that you like, and it'll help you figure out why people should enjoy your music in the first place. So anyway, guys, that's all for me, and that's all for this video. And as always, I will see you at the top.